Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today. And now let's begin. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Manifestation Babe podcast. I hope you guys are all staying super safe, super healthy, bundled up, and well. I have been really diving into observing kind of what is happening in the world right now. I know it's been a week since I recorded my last episode, really addressing my thoughts and my perspectives of the pandemic. And since then, I have run a 4-day challenge, which I hope you guys really enjoyed. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope you guys went back to the IGTVs where the video is recorded so that you can actually tap with me. You can actually see what I'm doing and get all of the benefits of emotional freedom technique that we did to help you release kind of all of these fears and worries and doubts and insecurities and anything that's bubbling up to the surface. Now, as things have changed and they continue to change every single day, I have noticed a theme here. And I've really been reflecting on and thinking about how things right now really are bubbling to the surface, not just externally, but internally as well. And there are fears, there are thoughts of scarcity and lack, kind of like what's going to happen to my business, what's going to happen to my job kind of thoughts. Old paradigms are being brought up to the surface, outdated thoughts and beliefs that do not and will not ever serve us. And this bubbling that's happening right now is causing us to feel in ways that we normally don't allow ourselves to feel. And because we don't normally allow ourselves to feel these feelings, we feel like something is off way more than it has to be. We feel more fear than we actually need to feel because we're not used to allowing ourselves to face kind of what's already been inside of us and how this pandemic right now is actually giving us one of the best opportunities, literally presenting an opportunity on a silver platter, which is why I see this as a good thing, to do the inner work right now while we have everything right in front of our faces so that we can actually do something with it, so that we can transmute all of this and rise up to the new paradigm that I strongly, strongly believe that's being created right now. And I know that I've been looking at some of my spiritual friends on Instagram right now, and we're all kind of talking about the same thing. And you will notice that a lot of people who are the healers, the intuitives, people who are very connected to their higher selves, they're all actually excited about what's going on right now. And it sounds a little strange, kind of like, when you watch the news or you pay attention to the media, you see nothing but doomsday. You see nothing but the coronavirus counts, right? You literally have a count of how many people are infected, how many deaths have happened since, what is going on in the world, and you can't help but look at it and be like, what do you mean? There are no opportunities here, right? This means the world is coming to an end. And then you have this like polar opposite of people who are able to see past that. And I'm one of those people where I actually do see past this. And what I am seeing right now for us is a paradigm where humanity is shifted forever, guys. Like life will simply never be the same after this pandemic than it was before. And I really see this as a paradigm where humans finally care about Mother Earth, finally care about the environment on a whole nother level. And I see us making the necessary changes on all different levels to preserve not only our species, but other species as well, like animals, for instance, or plants, for instance. I really see an old paradigm being destroyed where people are disconnected from one another, where people are really operating from their egos, thinking that they are better than someone else or they're not enough compared to someone else. And I see a paradigm being created right now where we are filled with more love, we are filled with more community. Community is huge that's being developed right now, and more unconditional compassion for one another than ever before. I'm also seeing a paradigm where old, outdated systems are being shattered right now, right? There's things that are falling apart, but we know that things have to fall apart in order for us to recreate it into something completely different and something completely new. We are rebuilding a new foundation. And I've brought up this metaphor before in the past where I tell people, in order to build your dream home in the place of your old home, you have to first destroy the old home in order for you to rebuild and create your dream home on your dream property, right? There has to be some sort of a destruction. And a lot of us associate this destruction with, it's the end of the world. Imagine you decided to recreate your home into your dream home. And in the process of the builders or the construction workers coming to your home, destroying it, completely shattering your old home so that they can remove your old home and then start from scratch and build a new foundation and build new walls and build new windows and doors and whatever is required of you to have your dream home. But in the process, you decide to freak out and you literally allow yourself to think that this is it and this is the end of the world, right? So I am personally very excited and very optimistic about what the future holds. And I know it's an unpopular kind of way of thinking right now compared to where most people are, but I want to remind you guys that this is also how I wired myself to think. I wasn't always like this. And some people have a hard time believing that, but I literally, oh man, if you would have known me, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, I was a completely different person. I was so fearful and so shy and so nervous and filled with so much anxiety and worry constantly and filled with so much envy and so much jealousy for people who were happy and people who were living their dream lives. And I felt like I was so out of control of my own life that I put all of the blame of everything that was happening in my life onto other people. Okay. In the process of identifying that and growing awareness of how I was thinking and how it wasn't serving me, this is how I wired myself to think, where I now am able to see the opportunity in everything, no matter what's going on in the world. I have trained myself to see the bright side. Now, that doesn't mean that I am completely blind to negatives or completely blind to pains and suffering of other people. It doesn't mean I'm completely ignorant of what's going on in the world. It's that from a place of empowerment and from a place of hope and from a place of faith, I'm then able to take much more empowering actions in what's going on in the present moment, because I know that, as they say, as everybody says right now, this too shall pass, right? This too shall pass. And I'm just personally very excited. And I know it's messy in the process. I know it's very scary in the process. There's lots of inner work to be done. And there's healing happening on a global level. And this is the first time ever where we are able to face our inner work, all of us at one time. Now, I know that personally, I've been dreaming of a time where the entire world has to do their inner work and really let go of their old traumas and let go of their past and let go of resentment, let go of anger, and really find the opportunity and the compassion and the gratitude and the love for the planet and for each other and for animals and plants and whatever. I've been praying for an opportunity like this. It's just that it didn't happen in the way that we expected it to. And that's what's causing us to suffer, right? We let our expectations get in the way instead of understanding that we were never in charge of the how to begin with. And the universe is taking its own course, and it has a greater plan for all of us. And whether or not we expected it to go one way or another, it is happening in a way that's for the highest good of all involved. And what's after this is so freaking beautiful. And it's a world that's been healed. And, a world that's been healed is a much better world to live in. So really today, what I want to talk about is like, how do we find the opportunity in the current situation or any situation? And I want to share with you guys a question that I want you to write down. Okay. I want you to write it down. I know you're probably not driving. I know you're probably sitting and listening to me right now because honest to God, like what else are we doing right now? Really? I know that actually it depends on the world, right? Because in California, for instance, which is where I'm in Los Angeles, we have a stay-at-home order, which means that we cannot leave our homes unless it's absolutely necessary, meaning we need to go get medication, we need to go get groceries, like stuff for our survival, or someone has a job that is necessary for society to kind of continue on. So I know that, people who collect garbage are still allowed to go and do that because obviously we don't want that to pile up. Medical professionals obviously are going to work and allowed to go to work. We definitely need them right now. Firemen, policemen, people like that are allowed out and about. But the rest of us, we're just kind of stuck here. So I want you to open up your journal, and you don't have to do anything with this question right now. This is really for your own reflection, and it's really for you to exercise this at a later time, perhaps after I'm done with this podcast. That would be a great time. But first, I want you to listen, okay? So the question that's given me so much perspective in my own life is, and I quote, "What is all the good that can come out of this?" Question mark. Okay, so write that down. What is all the good that can come out of this? And the thing with this question is that in order for you to kind of lower your resistance to this question, I put the word can. Notice how I didn't say, what is all the good that's going to come out of this? I want you to use this question to kind of exercise your brain, exercise your thinking, to be more opportunistic and to find the options and all the things that could come out of this to help you see the brighter side. And a very easy way for me to kind of pre-frame this before I dive into the current situation, like if I'm ever working through something in my life, like we're all working through this right now, right? So for me to work through this in the best way possible, in the most efficient way possible, I will oftentimes go back to a previous challenge. And I talked about one previous challenge that I had in the 4-day faith challenge. If you guys aren't caught up on that, I would definitely suggest going there. It's a completely free resource for you that I'm never going to take down. I'm never going to take away from you. The IGTVs and the podcasts are going to stay up. So it's not like my usual challenges where I only allow those who have like enrolled into the course or taken the next step to be able to keep them. But this is something that's available for you forever. So I mentioned in there, a previous challenge that I had and how when looking at that challenge, I can easily make a list of all the good that came out of it because it's now in the past and I can look to the past and be like, okay, yeah, that sucked, but what are all the good things that came out of that? And then once you've done that, and again, this is optional. This is only if you really need it because the focus really is on our current situation. We can't change our past. We can only focus on the present, and what we focus on in the present is going to determine our future. So then think of your current challenges and look at all the good that can come out of your current situation as well. So just a short list. I've repeated a couple things that I've mentioned in the previous podcasts, but I've also refreshed my list a little bit. So just so you can get inspired and see how I would do this exercise if I were doing it myself. And let me tell you, I've been doing it myself this whole time. So this is like real life. So here's my list. What good can come out of this? Well, for myself, a deeper mission to serve humanity, a deeper connection to the universe, my intuition, and my calling, more quality time spent with my husband, more time to podcast, create content and work on projects, a greater appreciation, and this is huge, for my basic needs, guys, my basic ass needs like water, shelter, heat, food, clothing. These are like the very basics that I get to be grateful for, because oftentimes I'm such a big dreamer that I'm always focusing on these huge things, right? These big luxuries that I can call into my life. And oftentimes I look past the fact that I have clean drinking water, I have shelter, I have heat, food, clothing. And there's so many people in the world right now that don't have that. And I get to appreciate that and really see like, wow, even if everything falls apart right now in my life, I still have this at least for today, right? Really looking to the present moment and seeing that you are safe and you are guided, you're protected, you are guarded in this moment, you are grounded in this moment, and not allowing your mind to go to the future, even to tomorrow, and be like, well, what if I don't tomorrow? What if I don't on Monday? What if this all runs out and something bad happens next month? That's not about this right now. Okay. Because our minds can use our imaginations to destroy, or we can use our imaginations to create. And right now we should all be in creative mode because the world fucking needs it right now. There's no option here. Okay. So also time to reflect on how I want to run my daily life and my business when things heat up again. It's a great time to really reflect on what hasn't been working in the past and what could I change so that in the future, when things heat up again, because we will get past this, what can I do differently to serve me and my clients, my students, my audience on a higher level? This is the perfect time, you guys, to dive into courses and certifications. And I've personally bought a couple of courses and certifications that will give me incredible value at this time to help myself so that I can then share this and help others and increase my value. So in the future, my income can actually increase. I can set myself up right now financially to be in a better off position later than I even was before this whole thing went down in the first place. And in my book, Unleash Your Inner Money Babe, I talk about, there's a chapter called Up Your Value, Up Your Income, and how you are paid in direct proportion to the value that you add to the world. So right now is the perfect opportunity to learn a new skill, to dive into a course. Even if it's a course that just helps you expand your mind and helps you get on the right track with your mindset, will massively add value to yourself and to the world around you. And then online certifications, guys, there's millions and millions of them galore. This is a perfect opportunity. If you ever wanted to become a coach, why not get certified in life coaching? If you ever wanted to, that's where my mind's at right now. But if you ever want to get certified in anything else, any other skill, any other thing that you've always wanted to do, you can find a certification for that. You can become a wellness practitioner in this process. I know there's courses out there for becoming a nutritionist, for becoming a wellness practitioner, for becoming a life coach, for becoming a business coach. The options here are endless. This is a time to appreciate my health and the opportunity to take even better care of my health, which I've been really focusing on. Time to savor my food instead of inhaling it like I do when I'm busier. My God, if I had anything to learn, you guys, and to practice at this time, it's mindful eating. And I've really been just savoring, like I've been making hot cacao every single night, like a little cacao ritual for myself. And I just love on that chocolate taste. I just savor it. It's so warm and creamy and delicious. And it's just an opportunity for me to really love and honor and respect my body and all of the food that I use to nourish my body. This is also time to get a lot more rest and sleep. I personally, I don't know about you, but I've been sleeping for like 10 hours a night. I don't know how, but somehow I just cannot wake up in the morning and I sleep past my alarm, and I'm okay with it, unless of course I have a meeting that I miss, but so far so good. I've just been sleeping and really resting, and it's made me so much happier. And I'm like, why don't I do this all the time? So if it wasn't for, again, this pandemic, I wouldn't have discovered that about myself, right? I wouldn't have given myself the opportunity to learn that I need more sleep, that my body's actually craving it. And I can go on and on and on and on forever, but I really want you to invite yourself to see the opportunities that are available to you and how there's an opportunity in everything, no matter what's going on in the world. And if you're not seeing the opportunity, you have to keep asking yourself the question and know that when you ask yourself a question, your brain can't help but fill it with an answer. So if you ask a right question, and this is a high quality question because you're framing it for your mind to look for the good. And so you're asking yourself, what good can come out of this? And see, this entire situation can go in either direction, you guys. Ultimately, you are in charge of your happiness. You are in charge of your success. You are in charge of your fulfillment based on what you choose to do with your life over the next few months. Not when this is all over, not putting this all on pause, but to move on forward with your life as if your success is inevitable. You see, you could either feel sorry for yourself, think doomsday thoughts all day long, watch the news 24/7. You could go into the Netflix rabbit hole of shows that will help you numb all your feelings conveniently instead of honoring how you really feel and working through any triggers or feelings or things that are bubbling up to the surface. I mean, you can always numb it, right? You can overeat or drink, which is another way of numbing. Also suppressing your immune system, which is probably not a good idea right now. You could give up on your business. You could shut down your life as you know it. I mean, you can do all those things, or you can choose to feel optimistic. You can take tangible, inspired, and aligned action with the goals that you set for yourself in January. And of course, pivot and see how you can pivot in any way that allows you to make progress even while being hunkered down at home. Of course, the avenues are more limited now, but perhaps this is a time for you to kind of reflect on what actions have I been taking? What actions have I not been taking? And what can I do at this time? You can take a class or a course to help you create a better mindset. You could read a book. You can send as much love and light to people who need it most right now. This is a perfect opportunity to deepen your spiritual practices. So meditation, prayer, any rituals that you have that help you feel grounded. Perfect time to do that. You can reflect on what you're most grateful for in your life right now. This is the perfect opportunity for you to finally start writing in that gratitude journal that I know you've had for years now, right? This is a perfect opportunity to do that. You could do an exercise program. I've recently dove back into my old Beachbody programs, which I'm so excited about. This is what I'm doing to stay in shape, to keep myself elevated, to keep myself stress-free, to pump my body with tons of endorphins, et cetera, et cetera. By making a list of all the good that can come out of any situation, you see, you are choosing an opportunistic mindset. And an opportunistic mindset is what creates opportunity. Now, people think this backwards all the time. They think that when I have the opportunity or when I am given the opportunity, again, relying on external circumstances, then I will have an opportunistic mindset and choose to see the opportunity. No. It doesn't work like that, right? Guys, belief in the not yet seen is what manifesting is all about. And that's what my podcast has been all about up until this point. It's about believing in the not yet seen. Now, the future is not yet seen, but believing that there is a future that's brighter than anything we've ever experienced in the past, that's what this thing is all about. And see, here's where I'm at in terms of the current opportunity that the universe is leading me to see. Personally for myself, I've been meditating after the 4-day challenge ended, and it ended now. I'm recording this on Sunday, so it ended on Friday. And I've been sitting in front of my biocharger, which if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm like all about that thing right now, because even though I got it for my birthday in October, it took us 6 months to set it up because we didn't know where to put it, because this thing is so huge and it can't have any metal around it. So you can't have metal around the biocharger because obviously you're going to electrocute yourself. It's a lot of power that comes out of it. And so we really were like kind of fearful of turning it on. And then finally, Brennan, while he's gone, set up a phone call with the biocharger team, who's been amazing and helped us set up. And what the biocharger essentially does, and I've posted the link, you guys can go and like read all about it, but it's a subtle energy like charging system where essentially it charges you in to a certain frequency depending on what it is that you want to accomplish. And there's about like 900 different recipes that you could do for different purposes. And so I've been meditating to, the immunity one, the immunity frequency, the pineal gland frequency. I've been meditating to the chakra frequencies. There's like a chakra balancing frequency, et cetera, et cetera. And the question that keeps popping into my head, ever since the challenge ended, I felt like I could give so much more. And I felt like I could serve on an even higher level. And I've been really meditating on that question and really asking, what else do people need right now that can make the difference between them using this time to sit in fear and kind of waste away versus using this time to create the life that they want. One filled with unshakable faith and determination to come out of this better, stronger, smarter, with bigger hearts and a bigger mission than ever before. And a couple of days ago, this idea came at me that just wouldn't leave. And for days, I couldn't figure out if it made sense and if this is something I should even offer and even how it would be received by others. I let my ego kind of come in and question, like, Catherine, who are you to do this right now? And so I sat with it and I meditated on it and I listened to my intuition. And then, of course, I finally brought the idea to my team because without my team, I can't implement anything. I mean, I can, but I would be doing them a disservice because we create so much better work when we're all working together. And, after having some conversations with them, they really agreed with me that the world needed this now more than ever before. And it's really something that we weren't planning on in a million years to do. First of all, right now we were supposed to be getting ready for our Bali Retreat. And unfortunately, that had to get postponed, as with everything kind of in the world, had to get postponed. And I remember being so upset because we actually postponed it really before all of this was really bubbling up to the surface. And we weren't sure how the retreat girls were going to respond because at this time, the world was kind of like evolving, but it wasn't necessarily a pandemic yet. And people weren't that fearful. They were starting to become fearful, but it wasn't like as big of a deal as it is right now. Because obviously right now, like, yes, it's definitely postponed. Like there's no way we could do it because first of all, I believe the Indonesian borders, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the borders like Indonesia and Bali are closing their borders to outsiders, to foreigners, so that not to further spread the infection. And so that's what we're supposed to do right now. We were supposed to be traveling across the world, as many of us probably are, serving women in person, planning our live events in May. We had some live events. Our first live event we were supposed to do in May. And, running a biz in general, that's what we were supposed to be doing. And with all this being canceled now, we thought it would be a time of rest until our next launch in June. And I really thought that this would be kind of like a quiet time for everyone to catch up on what they're doing and kind of take a breather and all this stuff. But here's the thing, you guys. When the universe calls, it always has bigger plans. So my team and I decided that we're going to follow our calling, even if it doesn't make any sense, because in a way it does make sense. Logistically, it kind of doesn't. But for the sake of service and for the sake of serving people on the highest level, we decided to create an opportunity to serve you on a higher level. And for me in the last couple of weeks, my mind couldn't help but flash to all of the DMs, the comments, the emails that I've received from countless past Manifestation Babe Academy students who have shared with me how the tools inside of MBA have helped them work through really any challenge that's ever come up in their lives. Especially not excluding the current circumstances. And that only helped me with my meditative practice of really tuning into how we can serve on a higher level, because I knew that there was gold in this idea for anybody and everyone who takes advantage of this opportunity. So here's where I'm getting at. Here's the deal, you guys. My team and I have officially decided to and have reopened the doors into the Manifestation Babe Academy. And for any of you who are unfamiliar with the Manifestation Babe Academy, it is like my ultimate school of learning how to rewire your mind and your mindset to work for you, not against you. So to literally work for you in helping you achieve all of your goals and desires and manifest your wildest dreams in the process. And first of all, doors were not supposed to be reopened until 2021. So we are hardcore pivoting right now. But this time, you guys, to really serve as many souls as possible, we decided to do things differently. We decided to do things differently to make MBA as accessible as possible to as many souls as possible. Now, this is not a launch, so you're not going to see any of the stuff that we normally do. It's really what this really comes down to is you deciding whether or not you want to take advantage of this and put yourself in the position to massively succeed in spite of the current circumstances. So the doors to MBA are only open until next Wednesday. So this podcast is being released on Wednesday, the 25th. And so there's basically a 1-week enrollment period to give you the time that you need in order to get inside. And here's what we're doing that we have never done before, ever, 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 ever. We're offering a 12-month installment plan on the investment and taking away the interest charge that we normally charge for installment plans. And we're taking it away completely. So we've opened up the 12-month installment plan, which brings down the investment for MBA to, I believe I calculated it the other day, like less than $2.75 per day. And that is the Manifestation Babe Academy spread out over an entire year rather than the usual 4-month plan that we offer with an interest charge. Because here's the thing, more than ever before, MBA is needed. And I believe that with all of my heart. You see, this is a program that I created to help you become unshakable in your mindset. This is a program I developed to help you rise above any challenge or obstacle that comes your way and create massive opportunities in your life, no matter what external circumstances arise. This is really about manifesting a reality wilder than their wildest dreams and doing this on a collective level, because right now this healing is needed on a collective level, because really this is about all of us being in this together. You know, you guys all know that you can't control anything outside of yourself, but you have full control of what happens on the inside. And MBA is exactly that. MBA will help you master the inside so that you can completely reinvent and recreate the outside. Imagine using your precious time right now, guys, to learn tools and skills that will not only help you get through this pandemic, but will also help you come out on the other side a much better version of yourself. Imagine also using this time to develop relationships with like-minded souls who are all in this together. You know, if you're feeling lonely right now and really craving that community aspect, this is especially for you because it's like-minded souls coming together and being like, you know what, you guys, we're all in this together. How can we help ourselves and how can we help each other? How can we fill up our own cup and really get ourselves stronger and mentally more resilient, and then help each other find the way as well? And then that ripple effect really extends not just through you and through all the other MBA students, but beyond that and into your families and into your communities. And that's how this ripple effect does create that global healing that I know is coming and is already in the process. And there's one more thing that I'm offering that I've never, ever, ever offered before. For the first time ever, I'm offering a VIP group coaching option for this round of MBA for a more personalized approach to the Manifestation Babe Academy. And it is limited only to 10 spots on an application basis, since we will all meet on a weekly basis throughout the program. And I want you to get an opportunity to actually get laser coached by me inside the special group and form an even tighter bond. Imagine you and 9 other students who are coming together on a weekly basis outside of MBA. MBA is already included. You get all the live Q&A calls as well. I'm like going through this full program with you guys. So you're going to get the live Q&A calls, you're going to get the program, and then you're also on top of that going to get the VIP coaching as well. So to get inside of this last and final round of MBA, and we truly mean it this time. I know that we said that it's closing until next year, but guys, circumstances have changed and this is completely unpredictable. And so we're doing the unpredictable and we're creating an opportunity for people who need this most. So to get inside and also apply for the group coaching option, just head over to Manifestation Babe Academy, or you can also swipe up if you're listening on iTunes to get the link via the show notes. I don't know how it works on Spotify, but I know on iTunes, you either click like show me more, or you just swipe up and it takes you to the show notes. And then also, guys, tag me on Instagram at Manifestation Babe when you enroll so that I can welcome you, so that I can celebrate you. And I will see you when we dive right into the first module of the program on April 4th. So that's going to be our official start date. This is going to be like a legit round of MBA with live Q&As and the whole shebang. And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot an email to hello@manifestationbabe.com for the fastest reply. My team is there for you. They're so much faster than you guys DMing me any questions. Feel free to DM me. Feel free to share with me that you've enrolled. Feel free to share your excitement or your thoughts on this podcast or whatever. But in order to ask specific questions, in order for you to get the fastest reply without it getting lost in my DM inbox, just go ahead and email us. So again, that's hello@manifestationbabe.com. Now, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for giving me the space to share. Thank you so much for giving me the space to serve. Please stay healthy. Please stay safe. Keep your eyes focused on the bright future ahead, and I will catch you either inside of MBA or in the next episode. Mwah. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.